I feel like I'm back in the car with Carla Marie because all Jake keeps saying is how he needs to pee every 3 seconds. You're complaining that you have to pee and you literally just drank more water.
I have to pee, but I'm thirsty.
There's a possibility that our adventure leads to severe injury because people don't know how to fucking drive. And it's not Jake that doesn't know how to drive, it's everyone else.
Put your foot inside the fucking car.
She got her foot
What
and her
is
hand
wrong
out.
with you? This.
We're clearly very prepared right now, obviously. We also have nothing on this table. There's no reason to even have it.
Look how bright I am.
Do you mean bright or do you mean white?
White. What do you mean there's nothing on this table?
There's
Why are we
why
using
did
this
bring the
table?
There's
I have no
nothing on
idea
it.
why we're using this table.
This is the only thing on it. We could probably put it in the little holder.
Oh, that would have been smart.
Wait, no one's going to know what we're talking about, so let's say what's going on right now. First off, I'm Ricki.
I'm Jake.
And you're listening to 20-somethings Doing Nothing, or watching if you're on YouTube.
Where are we?
Right now, the reason this started off so strange is because, and you're going to hear a lot of outside noises.
Airplane.
Where are we, Jake?
We are in one of the most boring little towns in America. We're in Kings Point, New York.
Jake kidnapped me and brought me here.
Yeah, we found on this website. I don't remember. We were looking something up for an episode of the most boring town in America. Or the least visited town in America, right?
Yes, least visited. Because we were curious. It might have been when I did my road trip with Carla Marie and Anthony. So that might be why we looked it up to begin with.
I don't know. Either way, we're now in one of the most boring small towns in America, Kings Point, New York. And we decided to come to this creepy shack. We are literally sitting in front of a creepy shack.
It's like all run down. There's holes. It's boarded up. It's like falling apart.
Yeah.
It looks like it's been here since like the 1800s.
Definitely. I don't know what the hell it is. But anyway, so we decided, let's come here and just like record an episode of the podcast.
Because that's what normal people do.
Because why not? And it started raining, but now we're good.
It's probably going to start raining again.
Yeah.
At some point. There's also a lot of people here because apparently this is a park, which was not explained to me by Jake. He just said, we're going to go to this town and we're going to sit in front of this creepy shack that I found. He sent me a picture of it, but didn't tell me that it's an actual park. So there's a lot of people around us.
We also didn't know where it was.
Yeah, we had no idea. We happened upon it.
Can we also acknowledge that this is the first time we're recording the podcast in person since a long time? Even when we were at your house, we weren't together.
Yeah, we were in opposite rooms. This is weird. High five.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Oh, now there's people walking by and they're probably like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, as we were setting up, everybody was like, what exactly is going on here?
And we didn't want to tell them that we're in the most boring town in America. So Ricky's like, yeah, we found this nice little town and we wanted to come set up here. And I was like, we just say we're doing a school project and it gets us out of any trouble.
We also look like we're 16, so that works.
It does work.
Okay.
So, first of all, what were you going to say?
I don't remember now. You say what you were going to say.
I was going to say, I wanted to say what constitutes what this website considered to be a boring town.
Oh, yes. Please explain. Because as we were pulling in, I'm like, this doesn't look all that boring, if we're going to be honest.
First of all, it's very rich. We've discovered.
Oh, my God. The houses.
There's a lot of money here.
They're freaking gorgeous. They're like compounds.
Yeah, legitimately like compounds.
They're freaking massive. And then out of nowhere, there's like smaller houses. But like most of them are very, very large houses.
Well, anyway, what the website said constitutes a boring town is the percentage of people that are married. And then... so
it's
like
when
mostly
you get
married people with children here.
You have no life when you get married, apparently.
Right, because what are you supposed to do?
I mean, you can still do things. Even if you're married.
Yeah.
I don't really know what's around this town, though. All I know is that as we were pulling in, it kind of reminded me a lot of, like, what you would see in my town.
Can I see? I gotta look this up. I think I'm wrong.
So.
You gotta unlock it.
Oh, right. So, as we were pulling in, though, I'm like, this honestly doesn't look that boring. And it looks a lot of, like, what you would see in my town. There's a lot of shops, a lot of, like, little restaurants, random CVS's, things like that. And then out of nowhere, all of that's gone, and it's just the actual town itself.
Well, it's going to be funny when we go and try and find food after this. Do they have, like, chain restaurants here or, like, Wawa? No, they don't have Wawa here.
No, definitely not.
People probably don't even know what Wawa is.
I'm sure they
Okay,
don't.
so they measured each city on the following criteria. Percentage of population over 35, higher is boring. Percentage of married households, higher is more boring. Median age, higher is more boring. Percentage of households with kids, higher is boring. Percentage of people over 65, higher is more boring. And population density, lower is more boring.
Okay, so basically anyone that has people over 35 and there isn't a lot of them, that's basically what makes it boring.
Where are we? Kings Point?
Yes, Kings Point.
So the population of Kings Point, New York is 5,011.
Oh, wow.
Very tiny town. And apparently everybody is in this park today. The whole fucking town. And they're all passing by us looking like we're crazy.
We do look a little crazy, though.
We do
So
look pretty crazy.
I understand why somebody would think that we look insane.
The median age is 38.
Okay.
Married households is 64%.
Oh, wow.
Don't come here if you're single. And the percentage of households with kids is 42%.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, shit. You hear people? It's a
So-
family walking by. Let's talk about something nice. So how was your day?
So then, if that's... Okay, and it's also on this list, it's number 10 on the list of all of the other places.
10 out of 12, I think it was.
Yes.
But the weird thing is 3 of these towns were in New York.
Yeah, and a lot of them are also in California.
It's funny because everybody walking by us right now is a family with children.
So apparently,
Just proves the point.
their research is correct. Yeah, a lot of them are in New York and a lot of them are in California.
Well, that makes sense, California. I would expect some of them to be in Texas or like things in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I'm not saying Texas in the middle of nowhere, but I'm saying there's a lot of like tiny towns in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
right? Or like, how about South Dakota? We've talked about this before. Does anybody live in South Dakota? I don't know. We actually, when I said that on a previous episode, we had somebody reach out and say,
yeah.
I live in or I'm from South Dakota.
Yeah, and it
And I
was
was
kind of
like,
crazy. We were like, oh shit, people know about us in South Dakota. I
Oh,
guess that means
shit.
something, right?
Not really.
I don't know what it actually means, though.
It means nothing.
I just like the idea of people from all over the place listening.
Well, I would be happy if somebody from here listened. You should ask that family if they listen to us. See if
Yeah,
they
I'm
know
sure.
See if they know who you are.
I'm sure that this is
Excuse me,
what
Sir, do you know who Ricki Sanchez is?
a family wants to listen to is this podcast.
Oh, definitely not. I bet we are not popular in Great. Wait, where are we? Great
No,
Kings Point.
Kings Point.
Great Hills was another one.
There's too many of them. Okay, so
What do
now
we-
you know what's going on, where we are, what's happening.
What are we supposed to do now?
We're gonna continue with the podcast like we normally do.
Oh, okay.
You have a story to tell me that you've been dying to tell me for what feels like eternity.
You're making this story sound like it's going to be incredible, but it's not. It's just a topic that I had an idea of a long time ago.
Anyone that's ever listened to this podcast knows that if it's a story from Jake, it's not as great as he makes it out to sound. So I think everyone's on the same page with we know this story's gonna suck.
I
But
like my stories.
You've brought it up every week as a topic, and every week we end up taking it out to put something else in.
So you're saying we're going with the boring topic today?
We're going with the topic that you've been harassing me to talk about that I just really want you to stop asking to talk about.
Okay. How many years have you had your pillow for?
So I've had my pillow probably for, the one I'm using now, a very long time.
Like what's like over 10 years?
Probably around 10 years.
What?
Yeah. Because it's a pillow that I don't use all the time.
Right.
It was one that I've just had at my dad's since college, at least, which college was a long time ago now. So yeah, I probably had it for like 8 years.
So I got a pillow probably 3 years ago. And I got some cheap pillow from Target or something.
Okay, yeah, mine's like falling apart.
Right.
Like, I need a new one
Right.
bad.
So that was my thing is I was like, I need a new pillow because also like what if somebody stays in my room, right? I can't have
Oh, you mean when you have a lady friend over?
No, I mean just anyone, like what if, anybody's staying in my room?
Yeah, because just anyone's gonna stay
Like
in
what
your
if
room.
somebody's sleeping over?
Okay, so
and
a
then I have
lady
this
friend.
gross, disgusting pillow. But it's not gross and disgusting. My point is that we don't replace our pillows enough. So I decided,
Oh my God.
we're not used to being not in our apartment. So I decided, where can I post about the best pillow?
Okay.
Right? Like what social media platform would you post on to see where people like their pillows?
Twitter.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I went right to Facebook.
I don't use Facebook. I deleted my Facebook. I was over it.
See-
Politics and family and shit like
Yeah.
that just wasn't driving with me during quarantine, so I just deleted it entirely.
I think Facebook is where people are passionate about weird shit. politics included.
Hence why I had to delete it.
Right, so I was like, this website is where people are passionate about strange things. So I'm going to ask these people, like, who has the most comfy pillow and where did you get it?
Okay.
I got so many responses.
What was the top pillow? Like, did multiple people agree on one pillow, or
No.
was it all different? Everybody wanted a different pillow.
Everybody wanted a different pillow.
Okay, so who is the most passionate? Like, what pillow had the most passionate customer?
So it's a good question because
Yeah.
if you're really passionate about your pillow, you sleep on your pillow every night, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if we talked about this before, but I say this about underwear. Why do we not spend a lot of money on underwear? Because you're wearing your underwear all the fucking time, right?
Yeah.
So, like, why would you not invest in underwear when you're literally in underwear almost all day? And maybe you sleep in it. I don't know what you sleep in. I sleep in, like, boxers.
Well, see, my underwear is all of basically nothing, and I think I paid too much for it already
But is it
because I wear
comfortable?
thongs. Like, yeah, but like it's no material.
A thong is comfortable?
Thongs are comfortable. They're really not that bad.
We're talking about thongs in a place that has mostly families, and we're outdoors right now. Tell me about your thongs. No, so, I mean, that's off the point, thongs, but
No, the idea is that I think I spend too much money on my underwear. Personally.
why? Where do you buy them?
Victoria's Secret.
Doesn't Victoria's Secret have like 17 pairs for $3 or something?
Oh my God, what? No, it's like 5 pairs for $30.
What?
Yeah,
See, but that's not too expensive.
for a piece of cloth that's this big,
They make men's
and they
underwear.
fall apart.
Right, okay, I guess men's underwear is a little bit different, but there's men's underwear that can be like over $50.
Yeah, you're talking
Per
about like
pair.
performance, crazy, like when you're working out type underwear.
I don't know. I don't think I would pay that much for underwear because, excuse me. Oh God.
Ew.
I'm
This
saying
is all going really well so
right,
far.
but off the underwear. I'm talking about pillows.
Yes,
What are we
back
talking
to
about
pillows.
underwear?
Pillows.
So anyway, one of my friends posted about this pillow that she has that it's bamboo and it's filled with stuff, so you can take some out to adjust it to your liking.
Ooh.
And it comes with a pack of 2 for $50. So not only was she passionate enough to write on Facebook about it, but she also then texted me to tell me how much she loves this pillow.
So you bought the pillow.
No, I did not.
What the fuck was the point? What pillow did you buy? Did you buy any pillow at all? Did you make people just passionately talk about their pillows and then just not buy any of the pillows? You bought no pillow, did you?
I did not buy a
You didn't
pillow.
buy a fucking pillow. You just literally made everybody passionately talk about their pillows so that you would not buy a pillow.
Passionate
What was the point?
pillow talk. What was the point? Because eventually I'm going to buy a pillow.
When?
I don't know.
Are you going to spend $50 on 2 pillows?
Should I? That's not that bad of a deal. $25 for a pillow?
I think all I've ever spent on a pillow, like max, is probably $12.
Right, because you go to like Target or Bed
Yeah.
Bath & Beyond, right, and you get the cheap one. But then that's my point is I bought mine 3 years ago and now it's falling apart.
But I had an expensive one at one point, and it really just like hurt my neck and my back, even though
You
it was
just had the
supposed
wrong one.
to be good for you.
So I have one from, what's that store? Brookstone? Is that a store? Yeah.
Yeah, it's an
Like in the mall?
expensive store.
Right, so I have a Brookstone pillow. It was like $80.
Jesus.
And I was like, fuck, this is so expensive. It's incredible. And I bought it 6 years ago.
So why don't you use that pillow? Why are you using the other one that's falling
I
apart?
do use a pillow, but I need to have more than one pillow in my bed.
Oh, right. For the lady friends that come over. That's where this started.
Yes.
Okay, yes, correct. Right. So you don't want to have an $80 pillow while your lady friend comes over and has a $10 pillow that's probably going to break her neck.
Well,
You wanna make sure
I
she's
have
comfy,
3
too.
pillows right now. So I have
Wait,
my
why do you
$80
have
pillow.
3 pillows instead of 4?
I don't know.
Wouldn't 4 make more sense?
A lot more sense and
Because
it'd
it's
look a
2
lot
for
better,
each
yes.
side. You only have 3.
So maybe I should just buy a pair of 2 so that way I have 4 pillows. That's actually a really good idea.
You're an adult man. You're supposed to have 4
Well,
pillows on your bed at least.
A majority of people don't see my bed.
Okay, but either way, part of being an adult is having a nicely made, nicely done bed, and that normally consists of the fitted sheet,
Okay.
the loose sheet,
Okay.
your comforter, the 2 pillows that you sleep on, and then the 2 pillows that have the pillow sham on it so that it matches your comforter. It all comes together and
So
looks
you
nice.
have 6 pillows.
I, in LA, had 5 pillows
Why 5? Why not 6 pillows?
because I
You're
had...
not an adult?
No, because I had the 2 that like I would lay on the one, and if AJ came to visit me or Yari would sleep over or whatever, she would sleep on the other one. Then I had my 2 pillows that had the pillow sham on it that matched my comforter, and then I have 1 pillow that my friend's aunt got me that said fuckity fuck fuck on it
That's cool.
with flowers, and I loved it.
Do you have a pillow? I mean, do you have a comforter or duvet?
Comforter, I would love a duvet.
Right. No,
They're
you would not.
expensive.
You would not love a duvet.
Oh.
Because this is more adulting bed talk.
No.
Welcome to adulting bed talk in the middle of the fucking woods.
And not the bed talk that you probably want it to be either.
No.
It's like the loser bed talk.
But you've got it. Having a nice bed is important, right?
It is. It's part of the game.
So when I worked for the morning...
A girl will judge you on your bed.
Exactly. I mean, my apartment is bad enough. I need to have a nice bed.
Yeah, something.
When I worked for the morning show, one of our sponsors was, I forget, some bedding company. So I did some work for them, so they gave me bedding, right? As like a thank you. And it was great. And so it came with like 18 fucking pillowcases and fitted sheets, loose sheet. Is that what it's called? A loose sheet?
No, I don't know what it's called, but I just call
Top
it a loose
sheet.
sheet.
Top sheet.
But it's loose. It's not fitted.
Yeah, it's a loose top sheet.
You're a loose top
Oh,
sheet.
that's too far. So, and it also came with a duvet cover.
Okay.
So I had to buy a duvet. Okay?
Oh, right.
Getting a duvet cover over top a duvet alone is almost impossible.
Oh, it's like when you do the fitted sheet.
Right.
And how annoying that is.
It's way
like
worse
that.
than the fitted sheet.
Really?
Yeah. So my thing is like, a comforter just makes so much more sense. But a comforter is harder to wash because it takes up more space.
True, yeah, facts. And when you live in an apartment like you do and you have to carry everything to the laundromat to do it.
So now...
Because that's what you do, right, Jake? You take it to the laundromat to do your laundry?
No. I do wash and fold, but I still have to take it there.
You bougie ass motherfucker.
Well, now that I have a car, yesterday I was at my friend's house and he has a washer dryer, so I literally took a suitcase full of clothes to his house.
I actually don't blame you.
No, because wash and fold's expensive and going to a laundromat is not fun.
I used to always take my laundry home, like when I lived in college.
Right.
And if I was going home, like 100% packed as much of my clothes as possible to clean.
Right. It'd be stupid not to.
Because, like, why am I paying for it?
Exactly. So
They rip you off.
now I just have a quilt because that's the easiest thing to wash and I don't have to put it in anything.
A quilt?
Yeah. It's kind of weird. It's like a blanket, but a little bit... Actually, it's not heavier than a blanket.
It's lighter, right?
It's like a quilted blanket.
But it's like lighter, like thinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have one of those right now too. But that's like my summer one.
Oh,
In
mine's
winter, I
all year
switch.
round.
Oh, I know I switch. I get cold.
Well, I used to switch, and then this really is so thrilling conversation.
Well, we are in the most boring town ever, so we're supposed to be boring,
That's
right?
true. Good job. That's why we do this together. And so then, what was I saying?
You were saying that you used to do
People
that,
are
and then you
distracting.
stopped doing that.
All the people coming by just staring at us is
I know
really distracting.
you get so distracted so easily. We would have to shut off the TV in the studio when we would be in
Yeah.
the studio recording. I have to like take your phone away. It's a whole freaking thing.
So that's
So
my...
this is a terrible idea.
Welcome to 20-somethings doing nothing. No, so that's why I don't recommend you getting a duvet, even though they look a lot nicer and they're super comfy.
I love all of this bedding combo that we have going on right now,
Yeah.
but we have other boring topics to get to.
Oh, I wanted to talk more about pillows.
I have nothing more to say to you, sir, about pillows. I have made my point very clear that I need a new one, and I refuse to buy very expensive ones because I don't think that they're all they're cracked up to be.
If you have a pillow recommendation for us, which you probably do because people are passionate about pillows, DM us at 20STN Podcast.
So Jake cannot buy your pillow. He could just make you passionately talk about the pillow that you love so much.
I mean, I like to hear people's opinions, and then I don't know. I mean, when I buy one, I'm gonna go with one of the ones that people said.
How many did you get?
A lot. That's what I'm telling you. This is why I want to talk about this. People are so passionate about their pillows.
I'm really like not that passionate about my pillow sucks.
That's because you need a new pillow.
I'll literally send you a picture of my pillow. It's sad. It just has an indent of my head, pretty much.
Also, pillows collect dust. That's a whole nother thing. So I have like a pillow protector over it that's like not the comfiest.
There's such thing as a pillow protector?
Yeah. I'm passionate about my pillow protectors.
But is it like a bed protector where it's
Yes.
like it's like
Yes,
It
like
sounds
this
like-
kind of material.
but it sounds like this?
Exactly.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, but you put a pillowcase on it, it's like whatever.
No, I'd rather
Yeah.
have a dirty pillow than hear that in my ear all
Oh,
night.
yeah, but your pillow's 10 years old. You know how gross that thing is?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's nasty as fuck.
Next time you make fun of me for not washing my comforter enough, I'm going to remember this moment.
Okay, but this is the thing. Your comforter is touching you. The pillow itself is not
Yeah, but
touching
my-
me. The
my-
case is.
My comforter's not touching me. We
Yeah.
go over this all the time.
Okay, but that's like literally it's not a thing though. It can't not touch you. It's a comforter.
Your pillow can't not touch you then.
Yes, it can because I have it covered by a pillow.
Mine's covered
Cover.
by my top sheet, loose sheet. top loose sheet. Why are we in the middle of the woods right now?
Because
Whose
you
idea
brought
was
me.
this?
It was your idea. This whole thing was you.
Oh, good times.
Any bad idea is Jake's typically.
Yeah, but you know what comes from bad ideas?
Great memories.
And yeah, sometimes a lot of bad things. but
Anxiety.
Anxiety and, like sometimes the police.
I honestly have been waiting this whole time for the cops to come and be like, excuse me,
me.
what are you guys doing in this public park with a camera and microphones?
I know, people just walk by like it's normal.
Yeah, and ask
just
us,
look at
like,
us and keep
what's
going.
going on?
You had 2 people ask us and everyone else just walks
Everybody
by.
else just stared, like slowed down ever so much and just kind of like stared and then kept going.
I love people watching though, so I don't blame them.
I always people watch. I went through a really long phase of people watching when I was in LA.
Where? Like out of your apartment?
Out of my, like, I would just people watch out of my window. So the way that my setup was at my apartment complex was that it was a big square, right? Where all the building was a big square, and in the middle was the pool and the grilling area and like the whole outdoor area where everybody can like hang out and chill. And that's where like everybody would have to walk into to get to their apartment.
Right.
So they would all have to walk into the courtyard, quote unquote, is like what I would call it, even though it's not a courtyard, but that's just easier to call it that, to get to anywhere. So I would constantly stare out my windows to see what all of my neighbors were doing because it was so fun, especially like right when quarantine happened, like right when it first started, because that's when everybody started coming out into the courtyard more.
You have nothing else to do.
Yeah, because I'm just like, ooh, what is everyone doing?
Yeah.
And I would see like people who didn't care about quarantine and would have girls over. And I would see people who would just like have random people come through, people that would sit outside more and just like read. But I would like really intensely people watch.
When you like literally just sitting there doing nothing.
And I didn't know any of my neighbors at this time. Like hardly knew any of my neighbors. I knew maybe 2 of them and more of just a casual knowing them. Like we would pass each other and be like, oh, hey, how are you?
So was it when you did meet them that you're like, oh, I know who you are. You come in at 6:32 a.m. every day.
Yes.
Or you were the one that had 16 girls over that one night.
Literally. The one I was like, you wear the same pants almost every day.
Oh my gosh. So you weren't kidding. You're intently watching these people.
Intensely watching. The one I was like, okay, so you're clearly wearing the same pants like almost every day. Like you've given up already and quarantine just started. The other one would constantly bring girls over. I was good friends with him though afterwards. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I didn't really think it was that big of a deal at first. He's like, now I'm really scared.
Did he ever get it?
No.
Oh, that's good.
He didn't. He stopped though inviting girls over. And then the other 2 are 2 of my good friends now too, who just like, they were 2 guys that lived with each other and they would have like DJ parties basically off of their balcony. And then there was the most interesting though were 2 separate apartments. One that I had a clear view at and another that I didn't. So I would only be able to people watch the other one when I was the one in the courtyard, people watching her. Because she would come in and out of the place like, and she would wear a bathing suit every day, like a 1-piece bathing suit every day, but she would wear a coat over it.
Wait, in her apartment?
Out of her apartment. Like she would come out of her apartment to go food shopping or to go anywhere, and she would go into where our cars are. So I knew that she was leaving the apartment complex, but she would just wear a bathing suit every single day, but wear a coat over it.
That's kind of weird. Maybe she wasn't going food shopping.
No pants, no anything. No, she would come back with groceries.
So she would go to the grocery store in a bathing suit?
Yes.
That's kind of odd.
So she was one of my favorite people to people watch because I'm like, where are you going? What are you doing? What is happening? She used to jump off of her balcony into the pool.
What?
Yeah, she was an interesting woman.
Huh.
And then the other were these 2 Danish guys that lived in an apartment next to my 2 friends that were always like DJing and shit from like their balcony. These 2 Danish guys. So I would always watch them because I'm like, what do you guys actually do with yourselves? Like they were always together because I think they were actually brothers, but they were always together. They were never not, like it was never like you saw the one without the other ever.
Right.
And they owned a pizza company, but like a traveling pizza company. So they'd always be carrying like big, massive pans and like big, massive tubs of stuff.
Wait, what do you mean a traveling pizza company? Like a pizza truck?
Yeah, like a pizza truck kind of
gotcha.
idea.
Yeah.
So you always saw them together though. And you would never like see them doing anything outside of just working. You'd either see them working or you'd see the one shirtless in the courtyard working out.
Interesting.
Which wasn't too
Wait,
shabby.
was the pool in the courtyard?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like pool.
I'm trying to picture this.
So it was pool. The pool was right next to where my apartment was. Like right where my windows are is the pool. So we had perfect people watching.
Oh, wow.
of the pool. So we would always see whenever anybody had anybody over or when they were flirting with each other or anything like that because it was right in front of us.
See, I feel like quarantine made everyone get to know their neighbors more. And I don't know if this happens if you live, depending on where you live, right? But if you live in an apartment building, you probably got to know your neighbors better.
Mm-hmm.
So like my building is 2 different sides and there's 3 in each. So there's 6 total apartments. So I know everybody in my side. The people that are right below me, I'm like good friends with, and then the people on the first floor don't talk to me. They look the other way when I come by for some reason.
I don't blame them.
Same, but I don't know what their problem is. So on the other side, the only way that I know these people is because my landlord puts us all on an email together. So at some point during quarantine, we were all on an email, and this dude's email on the other side was from where he works, right? And I don't want to say what he does, but he has a very good job. Right?
Okay, lucrative.
He has a job, that pays a lot of money.
Good for him.
And my apartment building is old, very old.
Yeah, it is.
Right? And it's cheap. It's a really good deal.
Like it creaks when you walk up all the steps.
Oh, they fixed the steps, by the way.
Did they?
Yeah.
Wait, I saw that actually on your
Now
Instagram.
they don't creak well, they still creak a little bit,
They
but
definitely still
they're
creak.
sturdy. Right before when you would walk,
Yes.
it'd be like, oh, I'm gonna fall through these stairs. But now it's
I would
level.
have like 2 drinks and I'd be like, is it because I'm drunk or is it just because these stairs suck?
No, it's the
Like,
stairs,
what
definitely
is
the stairs.
happening?
So
It looks a lot like the shack behind us.
yeah, this is my apartment. Actually, I just didn't want to tell you. So this guy has a really good job. So my neighbors and I are like, what? Like, why is he living in this building?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I get if you want to save money, whatever, but like, this is not the apartment to live in. If you have a really good job, and want to save money, you could live somewhere a little bit nicer.
Mm-hmm. Like at least like 1 step above.
Right.
Nothing super
Exactly.
crazy,
Nothing
but 1
crazy,
step above.
1 step above where
Which is
you-
like habitable.
Yeah, exactly. So we're so confused, right? And sometimes we would smell this really strange smell. My downstairs neighbors would be like, do you smell that? It smells kind of like chemicals. And I was like, no. And then I would walk outside.
Nothing exciting, I promise.
Oh, these guys are really interested in what we're doing.
Well, he was like, anything exciting? And I'm like, no, nothing exciting. Sorry.
No. Yeah, I know. We heard.
We're not. Oh,
We
I
heard
don't
you
know if
just say
anybody
that.
could actually hear, though.
I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me in the mic, yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay, keep going.
So it smelled the chemicals, and I walk downstairs and be like, it does kind of smell weird. And the smells come through walls sometimes. So my neighbors and I are like, is he like cooking drugs in here or something? Like, is this his like den to make drugs and then he goes somewhere else to live?
Oh.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
It's definitely not. But, we were all stuck in our apartments for so long, and you just like make things up and people watch, and
It's not a bad idea, though.
it's really not a bad idea because the apartment is really affordable. So it's like you could just use that as like your meth flap. There's definitely no meth being cooked in my building because we would definitely smell a lot more.
Yeah, for sure.
But it would be a good idea.
That's kind of messed up.
Or we're like, is he using this to like bring different women back?
So have you
Like
ever...
this is where his lover and him stay, and then he goes somewhere else and has a
Oh.
wife or a husband or whatever?
Maybe.
Exactly.
So you've never spoken to him before?
I've spoke to him once.
And was he nice?
Yeah, but I was kind of standoffish. Because I think he wanted to like stop and have a conversation, and I was like, I don't need to have small talk with you.
But if you have
I
small
just-
talk, that's how you figure out what he's actually doing in his apartment.
Yeah, I just don't care enough. Well, this was when I had small talk with him was before I knew what he did for a living.
Okay. So you were less intrigued by him.
I was definitely less intrigued by him, but now
But, like,
I'm very intrigued.
Quarantine also would have been a great time to get to know him.
Yeah, but I don't want to be that close to him.
Okay.
Well, my other neighbors and I would sit
Well,
on
then.
our fire escape. We'd sit on our fire escape and have beer together.
that's
Or
cute.
wine or whatever I was drinking. Actually, it was a lot of White Claw. We just drank a shitload of White Claw.
I loved that part of quarantine because I got so close with my neighbors that I
Yeah.
lived with in my apartment complex.
You were
like,
out there all the time.
all the time, and they made it so much more bearable. I would have went insane if I didn't have them, like genuinely insane. And now I feel like I have a group of friends forever because of like the fact that we all went through quarantine together and we were with each other every single day pretty much because there's only so much that you could do in your little apartment before you start going crazy.
Right.
So you would end up in the courtyard constantly because you're like, okay, this is my dose of like outdoorness.
It was nice because every time I would go to get groceries or every time they would go to get groceries, we'd text each other and be like, do you need anything?
Yes.
And we'd always, whenever somebody would make a liquor run, like we would always just buy the other person something without telling them and leave it on the doorstep.
Yeah,
We
like
had this
nice
whole
things
nice
that
thing
make
going.
it seem like, okay, life isn't as shitty as I feel like it is right now. Like
Right.
there are positives to what's happening.
You just added like a little bit of happiness to your day.
Like I'm not 100% miserable now. I'm only like 80% miserable.
Luckily, I don't have any shitty neighbors.
So,
oh gosh, I don't know what story's about to come.
so I would love to be able to say that, but unfortunately, while everything was going on with quarantine, there was a time that I had clashed with my one neighbor, and we clashed hard.
Oh, why?
Yeah, she drank a lot the one day, which like it was quarantine, so everybody was doing that a lot anyway. But like to the point where it was way too much, like way too much that was happening.
Where
and
does
it
she
was in the like diagonal corner of where my apartment was.
Okay, so her apartment wasn't like wall to wall to yours.
No.
Okay.
It wasn't like on top of mine where I had to like be next to her or anything.
Right.
She was diagonal to me. And she just got so drunk the one night, like blacked out, right? And since it was during quarantine, somebody in my apartment complex called the cops
What?
because she had people over.
Uh,
It was like a birthday party. It was a small gathering, but still she had people over. And this is when quarantine was still very much real, and they were like, stop being around other people unless you have to. Everybody in our apartment complex, we all were next to each other and all dealt with each other because we were constantly next to each other anyways. Like nobody was really leaving the apartment complex except to get groceries. So like, also we weren't like on top of each other. We'd be outside. You know what I mean? So the cops came and she went nuts, like lost her mind crazy. And she just started saying like, was it you? Was it you? Did you call the cops on me? To everybody in the complex. Like she was screaming at the top of her lungs. Like
She was
"Who
blacked
called
out at
the
this
cops?"
point?
Yeah, blacked out. And she kept accusing my roommate and I, because we were sitting having dinner outside, but we were drinking with her all day before that. We just like literally took a break to eat dinner. So we were just like, dude, no, it wasn't us. Like, why would we call the cops like on ourselves then, essentially? Like,
Right.
what? But she was so drunk that none of that made sense, you know? So we got into like a little argument because I was like, dude, because she just kept doing it. She kept coming in and out of her apartment. And she just kept coming back up to us. And I was like, if you ask us one more fucking time, I swear to God, it's not going to end well. Because it got to a point where I was like, you're just really annoying me and I'm trying to eat my dinner.
oh my gosh.
And I'm
I
so
can
not
imagine
dealing with this
And
anymore.
you were not this calm when you were saying this, were you?
I was this calm because I was still very calm, but I was getting to that point where I could feel myself like ready to explode. And I was like, I got to tell her to just please stop, because if she doesn't, I'm going to lose it. And then she took that as like, I guess me threatening her or something. And I was
What?
like, this is just too much for me. I was like, I feel like I'm back in high school, because it was that kind of drunk
Yeah.
where you can't console them, you can't talk them down, you can't have a normal conversation with them or anything. And I'm like, she won't just stop. So I like went into my apartment at one
That's
point
nuts.
because I got so frustrated because she wouldn't stop. So that was the only time that we actually clashed. But in the sense of what was happening at the time and the fact that we were all together all the time, that's like nothing compared to what it could have been.
This makes me, and all the stories I've heard from my friends and things, makes me so excited to have a house one day. Although that's still bad, because then you have shitty neighbors.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, your thing is on my property or whatever. It's like all stupid shit.
Yeah. Getting good neighbors really is just, you got to get lucky.
Why is there just so many shitty people in this world?
There really is.
That's what it comes down to.
What, wait, so your downstairs neighbor used to call you to tell you that you were being too loud?
Yeah, so sometimes they'll text me and be like, hey, we're like trying to do this, or hey, like I'm really sick right now. Can you just turn it down a little bit? And every time I'm like, yes, no problem.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's like functional and normal.
Right? It's great. I mean, it's also just because we're both two considerate human beings.
Oh my God, the neighbor above me in my apartment in LA, the loudest apartment ever.
That's what they probably think of us, because when I walk in my apartment, you've been in there, it creaks, right? It's got to be so loud. So I can't even imagine what it's like for them down there.
Yeah.
And sometimes I blast music. I'm like, at some point, you just have to live your life. But it's also nice for me because I don't have an upstairs neighbor. I'm on the top floor.
Yeah.
So I don't have to deal with any of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so nice. Like moving into another building, like I always look at apartments. And if I move into another building where I'm not on the top floor, then I'm like, it's going to be so loud and I'm going to have to deal with hearing people next to me. And now I don't have any neighbors on the side of me.
Yeah.
I don't have anybody above me. It's awesome.
You kind of just learn to deal with it, though. It's just something that you're like, all right, well, I'm in an apartment complex. Like, I'm going to hear people. We would never text our upstairs neighbors.
Did it ever get really bad, though?
Yeah, like there were a few times that it was just really bad to the point where Daniela and I, my roommate, were like, what the fuck are they actually doing? Like,
right.
Do they have elephants up there? Like, what is happening? They used to work out up there, so they're like jump jack, like fucking all sorts of shit, putting things down, like weights. And I'm like, oh my God. You do realize that there are people below you. Do it outside. We have plenty of room in the courtyard.
That's like Anthony, Carla Marie and Anthony. That's how I refer to him. It's the two of them. How else do I refer to him? What's his? He doesn't tell people his name. So how the hell am I supposed to refer to him?
He's not Anthony. He's Anthony from Carla Marie and Anthony.
Yeah.
You're the worst.
Anthony, if you're listening to this, you need another name because I need to know how to refer to you.
Just Anthony. That is his name.
Yeah, but I have so many friends named Anthony.
Okay.
And by so many, I mean two. But you listening don't know who I'm talking about, so I need a way for the person listening to know.
Okay, yeah. Our friend Anthony from Carla Marie and Anthony.
Yeah. Anyway, he was saying that he has the same issue that you had with his upstairs neighbor. He said it's so bad he wants to just get out of there.
Yeah.
I'm like, why don't you go say something?
He has, though.
Oh, he didn't tell me that.
He has.
That's
I'm
bad.
pretty sure he has.
That's really bad.
So,
I said before you leave, though, you need to go confront them and be like, listen, I'm leaving because you were a piece of shit.
I want to say that he told me that he's confronted them, and he's actually also said to, like, the supervisor of the building that they were loud. I think it was both.
And nobody's done anything?
I want to say it was both. Unless I'm just making that up and it was actually somebody else that said that to me that they have done. Because a lot of people go through this.
Yeah, it sucks. I don't do it, though.
It's just something that a lot of people, like I said, you kind of just have to deal with if you're in an apartment complex. Like, it's going to be loud.
But even when you have a house, there's going to be problems like this. But we've never had this kind of problem, like a noise issue at my parents' house. Well, and the houses are pretty close together.
Yeah. Well,
but there's been other issues. No, we're in there's people. We're in a very exciting place.
So,
this is the woman before that asked us what we're doing.
One of the things that's also fun though about like having a house is just the fact that like you could do whatever you want to make it so that it's not as loud. Like we have so many specific trees and stuff to make it so that it's not loud. Like it actually blocks out noise.
Trees?
Yeah.
What?
Specific trees. Like we set them up a specific way so that it blocks out noise.
That's so interesting.
So we almost get no complaints from our neighbors at my dad's house.
Also, when you have a house, you can do things to the inside of your house that make it better.
Facts. Very true. You'll have more inside space to do things with other humans.
When they replaced my carpet, when my old roommate moved out, I moved into his room. Instead of putting like padding underneath like you do normally with a carpet, they decided to just put the carpet on top of the floor.
Stop.
So and it's the thinnest, cheapest carpet they could get.
Of course it is.
So it's like, what's the point of having a carpet even?
Carpets are supposed to help with the noise, but if you don't put a pad, if there's no padding in it, it's
right,
just
the
carpet on
padding
top,
I feel like would help so much.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anyway.
What's our next boring topic?
Not a boring one. We got the Hot Mess Express.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so we'll call this Hot Mess Express Maria.
Okay.
She was cute. She sent a bunch of the choo-choo train emojis, which I really just liked.
That's
I was
nice.
like, that's cute. Okay.
Thanks, Maria.
Maria said, I'm a high school teacher, and the week before school started, I went out with a couple other teachers and got blasted around noon on a Friday.
Oh, God.
I had a crush on a guy at my part-time job that is 7 years younger than me. She's 29, he's 22. I ended up friending him on Facebook and messaging him for hours. He told me to, quote, lay off the sauce.
What?
And I told him I liked his calves and shorts. Facepalm emoji.
Oh.
I still have to see him at my part-time job, and we occasionally message from time to time. But usually when I'm drunk at 6 p.m. on Monday. All in all, it turns out that he does not appreciate my drunk texts because he also doesn't drink. LOL.
Oh, what just fell on me?
It's just a freaking leaf.
He doesn't drink.
So he doesn't drink, and she just gets really drunk and apparently messages him. And she had to stop, obviously.
Yeah.
But
that's awkward because they work together too.
Yeah.
I would say that she is our new conductor.
Oh, easily. Mostly because of the fact that she has to consistently still see him.
That's bad.
And that she did it more than once.
That is like your train just never stops. Like you're just continuously on this train.
Like it wasn't just a one time that she had messaged this guy.
That's
It's
bad.
multiple times when she got drunk.
Somebody said that I should be the conductor for my wrong text story last week.
You know they're not wrong. And I'm sure at some point one of us is going to have such a messed up story that we're going to be the conductor. It just hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah. Well, Maria, congratulations. You're the new conductor of the Hot Mess Express.
Choo-choo.
That's it. I love that. I'm just kidding. I hate it. But
All right, do your whole spiel that you do at the end of the podcast.
Oh, yeah, we have to go because I don't know where we are. We're in this boring-ass town.
And we need to eat.
I know. I'm kind of hungry.
And I have to pee really bad, Jakeford.
You could pee in my house.
Oh,
right behind us.
Do you think it actually opens?
No. Definitely
Can I try?
not. Yeah, you can try.
I want to try real fast.
On video. Anyway, so you can follow us at 20SDN Podcast. Don't forget you can text us if you have a Hot Mess Express story or if you have a pillow that you love. 201-588-5139. And it doesn't open. Thanks for sharing us with your friends. The more people that share us with the friends, the more listeners we get, and then we can do bigger things like broadcast from a abandoned cottage.
Yeah. Catch you next week.
Thanks for listening.